What the? That's better. Hey everybody, what's going on? How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Logo Wednesday. Logo Wednesday is the show where I critique the evolution of a logo, of a company, or organization, or anything of that matter, on a Wednesday. My hair's long. It looks long. Today, on Monday, is when this is being filmed, we are going to be looking at Taco Bell, the taco restaurant. They do not sell bells or whistles.
I used to eat Taco Bell a lot. It was sort of like a weekly thing. I'd get the big bell box, and it was pretty good. Not really. Well, no, it was, but yeah, I get like a taco or something. I don't burrito thingy, fries, and yeah, where I live, Taco Bell has French fries. Maybe a churro or something. I'd have it like once a week on the weekend. Not very healthy. Very bad. That's not very good.
But enough about my terrible past eating habits. Let's get into the logos. Taco Bell was founded in 1962 by Glenn Bell, which is very comforting. I don't know where the bell came from, if it didn't come from his name. Surprisingly enough, the very first logo for Taco Bell was not in fact a bell, it was this. I think everybody's initial thought of the first Taco Bell logo would be this, but we would probably think, no, that could never be it. This was the first logo, used from 1962 to 1972. 10 years. 10 years is a very okay run. The logo employs some basic coloring. It's basically just some little, the little alphabet blocks. It's Taco Bell. I don't know if this logo would have worked that well back then, because the name Taco Bell probably didn't speak to anybody. Now, when we think of Taco Bell, we think of something. Even if it's not the nicest things, we think of something. Back then, I don't know what people would have been thinking. The font, I don't remember what font that is. It's some sort of rounded, simple style font. Pretty okay. The fact that the blocks are on an angle and stuff like that, they're all mishmashed. It's good. It's very, very good. It's a good design. And it's a pretty alright first design. I think they probably could have tried maybe a little harder, but since it's the first logo, I'm not gonna bash them too hard. So what the hell was that? So for the very first Taco Bell logo, I think it'd be safe and it'd be good to give it an 8. 7.5, I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's a pretty nice logo. It's nice, it's wholesome, I think. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty alright. Decently timeless, but definitely would not work as a chain, which Taco Bell would become. 1972, which is when this logo ended, is when this one was brought in. Surprisingly, I think this one is actually a lot better, kind of, than the one before it. I think it really suits the Taco Bell sort of aesthetic that they probably were going for. A little bit more than this one. Alright, let's be real here. That A is kind of strange. I don't really, every letter is straight, like it's a straight font. It's very compact. It fits into a block, except that A. And I don't know if I like it or not. Let me get a closer look. Certainly is unique. There ain't no doubt about that. It's good. It's a good logo, and it definitely suits the Taco Bell thing. The Taco Bell Monarch. The color is simple, it's just a very, very dark brown. I'm gonna have to give this logo, I'm gonna bump down the first one. Fuck, now I don't know. I think I'll give this one a 9. It is pretty good, and I think it is an improvement to an extent. It's not doing anything radical, it's not doing anything mind-blowing, but it is doing a progression of the times. The 70s, people are getting real jivey, that makes no sense, but this logo is definitely an improvement over the first one. Let's give it a 9. 1985 is very important for many people, and also for Taco Bell, because they were thinking, we are gonna have a website one day. I know that doesn't exist and it won't exist for a while, but we're gonna have a website. And right now, we just have text. And that's not very good for a favicon. So, we're going to give ourselves this. We could say that Taco Bell now has a proper logo of sorts. The first one, I guess you could sort of consider it one, but it really is pretty typeface-esque. This one is proper. It's a logo. You can look at it. It definitely suits the picture sort of thing. This was 1985, if you forgot, which you may have. You may have not. We are introduced to the bell, and of course, Taco Bell was not founded with bell in mind. Just like, you know, like Nickelodeon wasn't just some name they whipped up. It was a real place that you could watch films. But obviously, that's a little different, but it's sort of on the same lines. And Taco Bell now has a bell, which is amazing. The bell itself, I was about to say the taco, but the bell itself is a pretty stereotypical image of a bell. It's got some cool lines. It's this really, really nice red
Arch
style thing. The bell looks like a bell. There's some green. Kind of imitates some of the things you may put. Kind of looks a tiny bit like a taco, kind of, or at least the colors are slightly reminiscent of a taco, an American taco, a taco. Let's talk about that. And wait, what's that in the corner? Whoa, restricted! That's right, now they're restricted. They're a restricted thingy. The font is a little different. It looks to be a slight bit more with some color. You know, just very slightly less saturated. And overall, it's pretty nice. I think, actually, it works pretty well. The logo being at the top, the font being at the bottom, looks pretty nice. Kind of comes together nicely. I could definitely see this being on buildings, and now I talk fast. I will give this little sucker a 9.5. I'm kind of thinking of a 9.5. I think it definitely is an improvement. Is the font better than the one it was before? I think so. I think it works a little bit better in its favor. It's a little more in its favor. I think I'll give it a 9.5. We're getting to the point, like this started in 1985. We're getting to the point where it's a little, you know, come on, let's adapt a little more than just this. But a 9.5 for sure. A pretty nice logo. Pretty well designed. In 1992, Taco Bell did some very spooky things. They probably did some cool commercial stuff, awesome redesigns maybe, but one thing that they really did is they changed their logo. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm tired. This was the secondary logo that they used, alongside this one fizzling itself out. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I am not a big fan of how thin this bell is. It is very narrow. Too narrow. 2 with 5 O's. This is... what is going on here? I also don't think I'm a giant fan of this sort of paintbrush sort of design that looks like some person just painted some marks on wood. Not the biggest fan of it. I know it's sort of the aesthetic of, hey, it's a Mexican... okay, I can't say that. The font actually looks almost the same as it did before, but I can tell it's a little bit sort of rugged. Which is cool, but... Let's again think of Taco Bell. Let's think of what Taco Bell even is. Does this look like Taco Bell? Not really. It could be another restaurant, but I don't think even if Taco Bell took all their time and effort, they literally zapped all their money into just like revamping. I still don't think this logo would be very warranting of it. Again, I am not a Taco Bell fanatic, but this one is not as good, I feel. I feel like it's sort of going in a very weird direction. Is it a well-designed logo?
I don't know.
It could just be the job of the PNG, but it looks like it's kind of being cropped in weird ways. It looks kind of strange. And maybe sometimes this logo can work. But for the sake of Taco Bell, it does not work. But you will notice the design is reminiscent of a future one that's coming up. So, you gotta give them that. And it is a unique design. It is different. And different is cool. So, let us give, well, me, you can vote in the comments, I guess, but let me give it a rating of either 6 or 7. Maybe I'll go in the middle of 6.5. I'll give it a 7. I appreciate the trying to revamp into something new. I just feel like they did it in a bit of a weird way. And clearly, this one didn't work very well because it was first off, it was a secondary logo, and it only lasted 2 years. So this was either a rough cut, they were just like kind of doing it. It didn't spend too much time on the logo, which would explain why I'm giving it 7, 6.5, 7. I'll be nice. It's a 7. It's not too bad. Especially since it only lasted 2 years. So clearly they weren't expecting it to last that long. I'll give it a 7. So when this and this were gone, we needed a new logo. Either that or Taco Bell is probably going to go out of business. So they brought out, this is the logo. I would assume this is like one of the most recognizable logos. Which sounds weird, I know, but this one just, even after looking at it for like minutes and minutes and minutes and maybe even hours, I don't know why you would look at the Taco Bell logo for many hours, but if you did, it probably still wouldn't look that old. This is the logo. This is the Taco Bell logo that they released in 1994. And it definitely does seem sort of like a 90s sort of fast food restaurant. A lot of fast food restaurants were trying to rebrand themselves in the 90s, and this one is a clear example of it. And it's good. Because obviously, fast food was taking on a very different role. Commercials were becoming a lot more abrasive, maybe? They were always trying to sell you stuff, there's no doubt about that. But definitely this one is very fit for the time of commercials that are like doing like, you know, they have these like the static 3D logos and stuff. This one just fits so well in that sort of era. Yeah, so it is a revamp on before. This one is very reminiscent of the one before, but I guess instead of painting on a wood plank, they decided to paint on a steel bar, which does work pretty well. Steel. Memes. No, we're not keeping that in. It's a clean design. The pink is just like, I don't know if that's hot pink. That could be magenta. I think it is magenta. That is a very nice pink. The yellow is just bam! Like basically every color, which was very saturated before. It was very, it's like, so this is the color we got right here, and this is the, hey, now the new one! This is the new one we got. Sorry for the energy, but yeah, jeez. And the font has been changed so heavily to just, instead of being this like, do, now it's Taco Bell. It's sort of the Arial Black sort of font where it's just like this pungent font that never gets old, but also stays, but also feels pretty timeless at the same time. It's very nice, very reminiscent early to late 2000s. Would be Arial Black. But for this one actually I feel is even more timeless. Taco Bell font, Taco Bell logo, Taco Good logo. This is good. This is great. I really like it. It's, look at it, it's like a little window. Isn't that interesting? The little arch kind of looks like a window for like a house. I'm gonna give this Taco Bell logo a 10. I think it is a very well designed logo. Some of you, my uninformed viewers, which I'm sure is not many because everybody is smart in the Logo Wednesday show, will think, okay, this is where it ends. Why is the video still going on? Well, they changed it. It sounds crazy, and it's crazy that this happened such a long time. 4 years ago this happened. They changed the logo. Like, what's this logo? Look, this one! Look at that! That one has the old logo. But they changed it to this. Yeah, this sucks. Okay, no, it doesn't suck. It's not a bad logo. It is pretty fair, especially since we are now on mobile phones, and logos like this look kinda bad. Especially with all the colors being like switched from like gradients. Okay, that's cool. This Taco Bell logo could kind of fit on a gradient, but once we go to a flat background and we put it on a iPhone or a Huawei phone or a BlackBerry, I don't know if they've released a new phone, it looks terrible. It doesn't look good because there's so many details. Even though it's a simple logo, there's so many details, it's not good. So this Taco Bell logo obviously has a purpose, and although I hate it, there's not too much disdain, but it is a logo that's new, and oh, the new kid, huh, even though it's 4 years old. They've removed the yellow. They've removed the frickin' this blue-ish purple thing. They've removed the pink. Now all they have is this weird violet thing. Yeah, it kind of fades. The bell is white. It looks like very reminiscent of the one before, but maybe it's like a slight modification, possibly. It's just ramped down, just watered down into this clear cut. Like, you can tell this is gonna be on one of the, you know, the new like eco-friendly buildings. Hey, we got brick walls and wood fences. I am not a big fan of this font that they've chosen. I think the one before it could have worked if you just made it black. I think they could have worked together. It could have been pretty swell. I do understand that, you know, this logo is, oh, it's really cool, it's really amazing. But once the 2000s hit, this logo was very, you know, now people were starting to see, they were starting to see through their nostalgia goggles and their foodie goggles, their fast foodie goggles. And they realized, oh, this logo makes me think of unhealthy stuff. And Taco Bell was like, no, 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 no.
We are healthy number one.
So I get it why they would change this. It does make a lot of sense. Again, not a big fan of the font. It is pretty simple, but it does make sense. What will I give this logo? I really want to be ragging on terrible logos, but really, this one isn't too bad. I mean, sure, is it better than the one before it? No, but they could have done worse. If you think about it in the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, the company wasn't even named after a bell. Well, because it's their icon. They're a bell, you know, Taco Bell. Why don't they just put the taco in the bell, and then they'll look stupid? But anyway, I think I'm going to give the final logo, for now, the final Taco Bell logo, probably an 8.5. That's probably fair. Maybe a 9. Woo! Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guns. This logo, while it isn't terrible, I think I'm gonna put it at an 8.5. I could put it at a 9, but, well, sometimes you can't sugarcoat things. It's gonna be an 8.5. Thank you all for watching this episode of Logo Wednesday. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. That boosts my self-esteem greatly. Maybe subscribe if you like that. Check out some skits, possibly. I don't know. I'll try and make more. I'll try and focus more on that while also doing this. And have a nice day. Unless you're watching this at night, have a nice next day. Thank you all for watching, and see you next Wednesday. Flying out. Conductors. Oh gosh, can you stop ringing the bells? Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I love the big bell blocks. Ugh.